Good evening, Soul Tribe. This is Janine, the Celestial Messenger. I'm here to give you an energy reading. To start things off, I want to tell you the full moon on July 29th, which is tonight, occurs in Aquarius, which is also known as the buck moon. This full moon signifies a time of intense emotional energy and potential turning points, encouraging people to balance personal desires with the collective needs. The full moon coincides with Guru Purnima, enhancing its spiritual meaning and encouraging reflection on guidance and wisdom. It also brings a surge of social and expressive energy, prompting connections with others and focusing on shared aspirations, especially in the collective, more so worldwide. Okay, so that being said, so changes are occurring. Okay, let's start off with burning some Palo Santos to get rid of all the negative energy. Remember, this is a collective reading for my soul tribe. Some or all may or may not resonate with you at this time. I'm just going to pull some cards and find out what the energy is. I'm going to do a Celtic cross using my thought cards, but I'm going to pull some oracle cards from Intuitive Cavs extra deck. Then at the end, I'm going to give you a Ganesha card reading. Okay, here's the Palo Santos for you. Let's cleanse the energy. Let's cleanse my deck too, so we could get a positive reading. Okay, here we go. Leave that burning. Okay, I'm going to call in spirit after our prayer. Holy Spirit, we ask that you continue and guide us and protect us. We ask that you give us insight and guidance on our current situations. We ask that you lift the veil of falseness and reveal that which is hidden from us. And we thank you for your blessings, your wisdoms, and your power, and your work in our lives. We also give you great gratitude for everything that you've given to us, our family, our friends, our animals, our pets that we also call family. Mother Earth, Father Sky, all the planets in the solar system, the galaxy, and everything that you do provide for us, our food, our water, our transportation, our jobs, our schooling, and the knowledge that we can gain from you. We say this in Jesus Christ's name, amen. Okay, let's call in spirit. Oh, if you're sound sensitive, please turn down the sound until this part is done, and then you can turn back up the sound. Okay, 1, 2, 3, here we go. Okay, first off, I'm going to do some oracle cards and see what kind of energy we might get tonight from these cards. These were also gifted to me, so they're brand new. First time using them. So, let's see what we're going to pull out, what we're going to find out tonight. What messages do you have for us, Spirit? We also ask all monitoring spirits, because I've been blind during this reading, so that we may get a positive and accurate reading, or anything that we need to know at this time, during this full moon. Oh, we're now out of Mercury retrograde. Hooray! Stick's a little big and a little stiff. Let's see what kind of energy we're going to pull. First one out, somebody might be feeling guilty and in remorse in your energy. Next card out might be a masculine who is very stable, has authority, and he might be a king or emperor energy. Your next card out is going to be for the collective. And your next card out came out reverse, work, job, business. So maybe not employed. Okay. So that's the energy we're going to be working with. Been a long time since I did a thought reading, so this is going to be interesting. I do one actually every day, but do one for you guys, a Celtic cross, okay? Let's see what we're going to pull out. So possibly a masculine, we do know that much, is feeling guilty. Somebody in the collective, this is referring to, and they could possibly be feeling guilty because they have no work, nothing to provide for my collective, for my soul tribe. Okay, so that's what I'm getting from those cards. Your first card out is going to be the immediate past. That's the 10 of coins, 10 of pentacles, reversed. Your present energy, Ace of disc. So maybe you were feeling a little bit, oh gosh, maybe at this time you were feeling a little bit like your finances were not in the upright position. Maybe you're going through a tough time. Maybe they're going through a tough time. It's somebody in energy. Remember, tarot has no gender. Masculine can be feminine. Feminine can be masculine. Your next card out will be the Ace of Disc, which is the Ace of Pentacles or Ace of Wands. And that has to do with your money, potential opportunities, and new beginnings. So that is going to go here. What is crossing that? Worry. Okay, well, it says here not to worry because you're going to have a new beginning. Worry is a 5 of Pentacles. So maybe you felt like you were out in the cold. In the past, there was conflict, changes, and instability, possibly with your money and finances. Okay, your next card is past issues. Oh no, there was no love. No love in your life. You felt unloved. Maybe by this Emperor or this masculine energy. Let's see. Here, what is the message from above? You will get regain happiness. That's a 9 of Cups. Water, it's emotional. That's Pisces, Scorpio, or Cancer energy. The Pentacles are all Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn energy. And this one here is the Love card, 2 of Cups, which would be also the water energy. Is very emotional, so it has to do with Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio. Okay, your next card is going to be the immediate future. Oh my goodness, adjustment. Okay, adjustment's a good card. It's almost like a judgment card. Okay, what is your fears? The Empress in reverse. Like you might be losing your balance a little bit. Maybe you're fearful that something's not growing. Because the Empress upright, Major Arcana card, would be somebody who feels fulfilled, has a lot of growth and movement in their lives, can always, what would you say? The Empress could always bring balance into the, so that's just a fear though. So I wouldn't worry about that. It's a fear. Okay, what is your environmental factors? That is the 6 of Swords. Maybe you need to move on from something, but Maybe you already moved on from something, and it has you a little bit fearful over here. The Six of Swords is usually in the tarot deck. The Reader White deck is the person on a boat with the Six Swords, and she's moving away, or he's moving away from something that is no longer fulfilling. But it's reverse, so possibly you had to move away from something that wasn't so fulfilling, which is making this person feel guilty and remorseful. Okay, and then your next card out will be your hopes. This is a good energy to be. The Princess of Cups. Princess of Cups is very loving. She's very giving. She is also intuitive. So this is an emotional card. She's, always a giver. So this would be Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio. And then your outcome is the Eight of Pentacles. Maybe your work isn't going too well, or maybe you're worried about your work. Eights always have to do with action, mastery, and accomplishment. Maybe you're feeling a little bit this time that you haven't accomplished what you wanted to. But remember, everything takes practice, and don't be so hard on yourself. You can get out of that energy. Just look where you were, and look towards the past and say, okay, this is where I was, this is where I am now, and I bet you're in a better spot. Okay, so let's get into this reading. In the recent past, you had the Ten of Coins, Ten of Pentacles, and that's reversed. So since it's reversed, maybe you're expecting some large sum of money and it didn't come through yet. Maybe you were expecting some kind of wealth. Also has to do with your home and family, having a firm and comfortable foundation. All wasn't well in your home, family, and relationships. All wasn't well with your money, possibly because of this masculine energy who's feeling guilty and remorse and lost his job. This is a Pentacle coin, so it would be Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn, but this is in your past, okay? So I wouldn't worry too much about the past like that. So look where you have been when we compare. We're going to compare your past with the outcome. You are putting work in. It may not be to your liking or where you want to be, but you've come from negative to a positive 8. So that's pretty impressive, if you ask me. Now, what is present in your energy, it does look like you have an opportunity coming. You have a potential or new beginnings. It's the Ace of Pentacles in the Reader Right deck, and it has a hand coming out holding this pentacle. So that's God's hand or the divine's hand, whatever you resonate with, bringing you in material aspect of life, career, finance, business, and possessions. So this is God's hands that's bringing this to you. This is a gift, okay? But we'll get into a little bit more of that. Pentacles. It's an ace, so aces always represents new beginnings, usually. Okay. A large golden pentacle dominates this card. The surrounding card is green, so healthy and calm. The Ace of Pentacles represents prosperity and material gains to the beginning of successive endeavors that bring good financial rewards. So this would be an excellent card if you were looking to start a new business or a venture at this time. So since you're being offered a new beginning, so look out for new beginnings, a financial windfall that's going to come in. So there's really no need to worry here. It's crossing you. Let's see. Okay, it can signify documents that hold material importance, such as company accounts, education, certificates or diplomas, inheritances, marriage contracts. Sometimes it may represent an important letter being received, although frequently it would be an official or monetary nature. So this is about gifts, inheritance, money. Money is coming towards you. Okay, so there's no need to worry. So that's a grounded energy. It's actually the Ace of Pentacles, but in this deck it's the Ace of Disc. And that rules finances, career, material, physical, practical stability, and possessions. And the signs associated are Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Your next card is another Pentacle. So this again, this is what's crossing you right now, what you're worried about. It looks like you're worried. You're being worried. It also has to do with your finances, career, material, physical, practical stability, your possessions. You might want to get out in nature, hug a tree at this time. Go get stabilized, go ground yourself. It does rule Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. You're in a little bit of a worry, but that's okay because it's just what's crossing you. There's no need to worry because you got this new opportunity coming in. Perhaps everything is worrying about. The Five of Pentacles supplies a warning of paying careful attention to your financial affairs to guard against loss. So this isn't a time to head for the shops and indulge in a spot of retail therapy. Sometimes it can be temporary hardships and may be felt on a financial or even emotional level. Yet help is at hand if you look more closely. Money or resources could be lacking. So take the time to carefully review financial affairs, ensure everything's in order, and reorganize the budget accordingly. This would not be a good time to enter into new financial commitments or agreements. Let caution be your watchword here. This is not the time to be loaning money out, okay? Giving people loans because there's possibility that they might not be able to pay you back, okay? So, yeah. This gift is from God, the divine. So it's for you and only for you. Remember that. This is a gift. Okay, so your next card would be past issues. Maybe you didn't feel very much love in your energy. Maybe this masculine here didn't give you equal give and take because he's feeling very guilty and remorse and regret, possibly because of your new financial beginnings or your potential or your new opportunity that's coming in. And this might have him worried about it because it looks like he has lost his job. Because this message is for the collective, it says. Okay, so the Two of Cups in reverse. It signifies love. It also signifies unity, balance, and partnerships. Okay, and since it's a water sign, it represents Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Has to do with your emotions, relationships, feelings, empathy, spiritual, psychic, intuitive, and possibly love. So maybe you were a little off, not feeling very intuitive. Maybe somebody in your energy didn't show you enough empathy or feelings in the relationship. It does look like you had to move away from it because you didn't feel love. There was no love there. When this card is upright, it's harmony, balance, kindness, and silent understanding that words cannot express. But when it's reversed, that is disharmony. No kindness here, no balance. If there has been quarrels and disputes between loved ones, the Two of Cups can bring reconciliation and rediscovery of emotions that originally held this unity together. However, it's not promised, okay, because it's reversed. So we're not talking about a reconciliation here. Okay, this card is the Adjustment card. I believe the Adjustment card has something to do with judgment. Maybe you had to call judgment. And that's going to be immediate future. That is a Major Arcana card. It's also the Justice card. So maybe you possibly had to call judgment on this whole situation. It's having justice. It's the balancing of, it's actually a Libra card because the scales are here. It's balancing of the scales. So, yeah, that would be a Libra card. So I'm going to say Libra is Swords. So that's thoughts, logic, being intelligent, powerful, having some awareness, and having perception. So that rules Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, but mostly Libra. Okay? Maybe you don't feel like there was justice in this situation, in this love that you were in the past. Okay? But it is right side up, so there will be justice. The act of adjustment, suspension of all action, pending decisions in material matters may refer to lawsuits or prosecutions, socially, marriage or marriage agreements, political, and treaties. Okay. Also, it represents justice. Remember what this one is. The woman here, this woman, representing justice, stands between two pillars, signifying the need for balance and duality. She wears white, representing the purity of her purpose. She holds in her hands up to heaven, and they are illuminating with a light that strikes down towards the symbol of the sun, which is male energy, that sits in the stern of the scales. The scales is feminine symbol. Libra. The woman stands between a set of stone steps, perhaps representing our past so far. Now is the time to make balanced decisions that will affect where our paths lead us in the future. Okay? Justice is very, very much a card of creating balance in your life, though more of the rational, logical kind, using the intellectual mind rather than emotional itself. This is having a head over heart awareness. Maybe you had to do something in the past that you had to turn away from, a relationship, because love's out here, a partnership. There was no balance, no harmony. So you basically used your head over heart. Okay, you had to remove yourself from this energy. I'm going to say this masculine or feminine. Remember, there's no gender in this. But currently, their energy is they're feeling guilt, remorseful, and have a lot of regret. Possibly because they're not working. They don't feel good enough. But right now, you're using your head over heart. Or, yeah, you're using your head over heart in all your decisions, which is kind of good. Like I said, it has to do with your logic, power, and having maybe some kind of awareness. Maybe you woke up from something, some kind of dream that you were in, or Maybe somebody was future faking you and you fell into that future faking, and you came to your senses and have a new perception on the whole situation. Okay? If the legal matters are included in this, like if you're going through a divorce at this time, because it has to do with partnerships, everything will rule in your favor, so there's no need to worry. It looks like you're going to win with the Ace of Ace of Desk, Ace of Pentacles. Okay, so there's no need to worry, but do not, at this time, it's telling you, do not loan your money out or give it away, because this is a gift, okay? And you can't give gifts to, you can't give a gift to, as a gift, okay? You got to keep that gift to yourself. Okay, let's see here. This is your fears. It's a court card. This is the Empress. The Empress is usually in a lot of control, but maybe this whole situation has you a little bit off balance. But this is just a fear, and of course, fears can be overtaken by mind over heart. The Empress represents growth when she's upright, so maybe you're not having growth right now, and you're kind of worried about that. Not enough prosperity. You're not birthing anything new. You're kind of feeling a little stagnant. I do believe you are the Empress, but right now you're in worry, okay? Because the Empress card did come out. But it has you a little bit off balance, so now you need to think mind over heart to get back in upright position so that you can have prosperity, growth, and bring things into growth and prosperity, and bring it into fruition. Okay, so this is just a fear of yours. Nothing to panic about. It does look like you did move away from something or someone. I'm going to say a partnership. There will be no reconciliation because you're using your mind over heart. You've already called justice on it. And it looks like you had to move or walk away. She just called the boat, okay? Or he. You threw in the towel. You used your mind over heart. This is what's going on in the energy field right now. By the light of the full moon, the meaning of the Six of Swords is quite literal, moving out of the stormy waters and into calmer waters, okay? But it's reversed, so I think you've already done this since it's reversed, okay? Or maybe you're feeling stuck. I hope not, because if you are feeling stuck, use your mind over heart, and it's time to move on from all this mess of this person that might be feeling guilty or remorseful because they didn't give you give and take, or there was no balance and unity and no happiness in the situation. It's talking about the whole collective, my whole soul tribe, and this person may be out of work right now. They may want to come in and ask for some money because they might know you're getting an Ace of Disc, a new opportunity, or a financial gain. And that's why I'm telling you right now, do not loan anybody money because they're not going to pay you back. Okay. The Six of Swords and the boat demonstrate our experiences are a part of us and travel with us. A reminder of the life lessons we have encountered. This card also can represent a physical journey, usually long, sometimes over water. But it looks like you might have already done that, or you're contemplating this, because it is in reverse. Maybe you're feeling stuck. You're not in calm waters right now. Maybe it's time to use your mind over heart, because that's what it is saying. Now, I did want to talk about, once you do this, you are in the Princess of Cups. This is also the Queen of Cups. Like I said, the Queen of Cups is very empathic. She does listen, very intuitive. She listens to everything that, she's feeling. So you might want to get in and start really doing some thinking, analyzing, because you can find a way out of this. It's a court card. So it definitely has something to do with somebody who's in the energy of Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups here. Let's talk about her. Okay. This might be your energy, might be somebody in your field, your energy field's energy. The Queen of Cups is kind, gentle, sensitive, and thoughtful, charming, socially polite, creative, and artistic. She sometimes can appear switched off from the outside world, as she is quite in tune with her inner world, which she can easily slip into, giving her a detached air. At times, she prefers one-to-one friends or conversations rather than large groups. Usually quite feminine and empathic by nature, she can at times be melancholy or prone to shifting moods. She can also become very detached, especially when she goes in and uses her intuition and she thinks things are off. She's the person that wants to get in that boat and leave. She will balance her emotions out, but mostly she is very loving and kind. It's really hard for her to cut somebody off until they do something that has really crossed her boundaries. The Queen of Cups likes things to be pleasing. Her home and her clothes and accessory all carry some small, fancy little detail that sets them apart. However understated, you will find telltale signs of this everywhere you look. Her pen, her diary, items on her desk, and so on. Her home and her clothing show taste and a touch of artistic flair. No matter what her budget, and her home is a place that reflects this sense of harmony she needs. So you would be best to have harmony in your life if you are in this Queen of Cups energy, because it does talk about harmony, balance, everything in unity. So she really needs this in order to flourish. So if you're thinking about moving on, it's time to act. Okay? She would not force herself upon others, tending to be somewhat restrained in her nature, but she is a good friend of yours. Then she will spend hours listening to your problems. She empathizes, offering support and well thought out suggestions. So, she's not always, just only emotional. She's very intuitive. She listens to the messages from Source or the Divine, God, however you resonate. She does listen to the messages, and she acts upon it accordingly. And I believe she's going to use her mind over heart to figure things out. Okay, the Eight of Pentacles. It's reversed. And I wouldn't really worry. It just means that maybe you're feeling a little stuck with the Eight of Pentacles. Like I said, you look where you've been. You were at one time not doing so well. No happiness, no wealth. You weren't seeing any growth in your finances. Maybe when you started over or had to start over, your finances took a hit. But maybe you're regrowing. You're getting back up there to where you once were. We want to get you back into that Empress energy. Eights have to do with action, so it's time to take action, okay? No more procrastinating. Definitely no more procrastinating. The Divine Source is trying to tell you, take action and you will get some mastery, okay? Eight of Pentacles is off, or Eight of Coins in this deck, is often referred to as the apprenticeship card. It can signify learning a new skill or profession. Maybe you're being too hard on yourself, learning this new skill or profession. Maybe it's a new job, a new life. Maybe you're having to start all over again. Don't be too hard on yourself, okay? Because your final outcome is going to be happiness. And this is what God wants. This is your message from the divine, okay? So you might be starting something new. It may be slow to take off, but you're going to get there, okay? It also indicates that existing talents can be used to create a venture that will bring financial gains. This may be some kind of interest that you have, a hobby, something that brings you great pleasure in doing. You might want to pick that up again. If you always wanted to follow a different career path, then make some inquiries, because the signs indicate the opportunity could be more accessible than you previously believed. You might want to start networking if you're looking for a new job, or you know, seeing how you can improve your skills. Maybe taking up a side hustle might help. But don't be downhearted, because look where you have been. You've been in the reverse. 10 of Pentacles. Okay? And it's probably because you had to start all over somewhere. You called justice on this. You're very worried about your finances, it looks like. But there's no need to worry, because the universe is going to step in. And the divine's going to hand you a gift. So your final outcome is going to be, well, the divine wants you to take a look at your hobbies, and look at the past, where you've been and where how far you've come. Okay, that is your outcome. But the final outcome here is the 9 of Cups. It's total happiness. You can't get any better than the 9 of Cups. You're also the 9 of Cups is a lot of happiness. I do know that much. 9s also represent fulfillment, attainment, bringing something into fruition. So maybe it is time to get out that hobby and start doing that hobby again right now, because it might bring you in more of your pentacles. It might even bring you happiness. I wouldn't even think about pentacle, you know. At an 8, I would not even, you know, I'd be happy with an 8, especially when you were in -10, okay? I think you've come a long way, so don't be so hard on yourself. Definitely not. Don't be hard. So the 9 is always about happiness. This is one of the happiest cards in the deck. The 9 of Cups is one of the most promising of the tarot, and is sometimes referred to as the wish card, signifying the achievement of an important desire that brings you fulfillment. It could represent emotional and material fulfillment, abundance, also sensual pleasures. It indicates you will feel well pleased from this gift from the universe. And that's what I see. And this might have all caused the collective here, the collective, to go in and think about things from a mind over heart. Okay? On a masculine energy, could be feminine or masculine, but it's the energy here. They may not have worked. It looks like they didn't work. It's reverse. They weren't putting into the relationship. Or if they were being very greedy. This reminds me of the King of Pentacles. Very greedy, selfish, somebody who doesn't share, somebody who is not willing to give you equal give and take. Definitely was in the masculine energy, and at this time they're feeling guilty and remorseful. Also some regret. Okay, that's what I see. So this has been a fun reading. Let me get this deck card out again. So I'm going to try to pull it all together. This is where you were. You were in a negative You weren't feeling very wealthy. You were not feeling very abundant. You didn't feel like there was no renewal. You had to go in and make a mind over heart decision. You did leave a situation. You went to calmer waters because there was no love, kindness, or harmony or balance in a situation that you're coming out of. Because of this, you may have taken a hit from your finances, but look where you've been from leaving that situation. You're now at the Eight of Pentacles, which is very good. It's got you a little bit off balance, but you can get back into balance through some hard work, focusing on your work, focusing on healing. I believe you're masculine or feminine. I believe you're in the Queen of Cups energy. Very intuitive, very kind, very loving, very supportive, a very good friend. Doesn't like much groups. Sometimes she could feel detached and closed off, and that's because she wants to guard her energy. Okay, this has you all worried, but there's no sense in worrying because happiness is coming in, because the divine wants to give you a gift, and it will be something that has to do in the earthly realm. It will have to do with your finances, career, material, physical, practical stability, and possessions. This will bring you emotional happiness. You will feel very, very happy. Okay. This card here is water. So the water is Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. It has to do with the summer. It's going to have you feeling good with your emotions. You're going to be feeling, your empathy is going to be coming back. You might feel a little spiritual, psychic intuition, and possibly even love this summer coming towards you. Okay, so we'll put those cards away. Oh, shoot, what did I do with my deck? There it is. Okay. Alright, we'll put this away, and I'm going to get you one card from the Ganesha deck. Since we are talking about your finances and everything on the earthly realm, which has to do with material aspects, so we're going to get you one card from Ganesha. Ganesha is the whisper of Lord Ganesha. This is might help you see things from a different perspective. They're just kind of cards that can give you advice, an advice card. Okay, oh my goodness, this is a big one. All right, here we go. I'm gonna give one cut. Pull the top card. Oh my goodness, you have to get your drive back, okay? That's what it says here. Do you see that card? I'm not sure if you can see that card. Let's move it this way. This is drive 14. 14 equals a 5. 5 has to do with change. Changes are coming in. So there's no need to worry. I know it said that you were in worry. That was what was crossing on the Celtic cross. So what are we going to look at? Number 14. It's about your drive, okay? Ganesha urges you to think about getting back to the basics. It is a great time to lighten your load or even simplify your life. Go through your closets, get rid of stuff, make life a little bit easier. You may have a tendency to overexert yourself or overcommit to social activities. Cut back on your schedule so you can zero in on something that you are called to do. This card indicates new motivation or inspirations. If you've been feeling stuck in a situation or finding a solution, rest assured the energy is going to start moving again. You do not have to choose to go alone on your path. Make sure that if you do bring others with you, that they have the same goals. and objectives in mind. Pay attention not to linger in relationships or friendships that are going nowhere, or settle just because you feel obligated. This is not a time to be complacent. If you want to create changes in your work, explore what your options might be. That might be an increase in your finances, but this is not a time to be spending money or loaning money. Bide your time and prepare for what is coming next. Always have a savings. This might also indicate that a trip or extended travel is on the horizon. Okay, so that being said, I hope you enjoyed this reading. Remember, once again, collective reading for my soul tribe. Some or all may not resonate, but if you come back at a later time, it may resonate with you. I also have my Cash App, PayPal information if you ever want to donate to the channel in my description box. Also, if you like this reading, please like and subscribe. Thank you very much. Bye for now.